Kids are gross, your video game systems should not be. And we are here today to share with you something really cool to make sure your Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch OLED, Nintendo Switch Lite, along with your Nintendo DS, 3DS, and new Nintendo 3DS work well today, tomorrow, and into the future. See, back in the day, I'm sure you've seen the memes of people blowing into Nintendo games, and this is really one of the worst things you can do. And there's a number of different ways you can go ahead and clean retro systems. But what about more modern systems? They've kind of been left behind. Well, that's where we have our new, super excited to share this with you. This is what I'm calling the Switcheroo. This is designed to clean both your Nintendo Switch console and your Nintendo Switch games. What we also have is a variant here as well that'll work on your Nintendo DS, 3DS, DS Lite, basically the whole family of systems. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give you a closer look at these. I'm excited. So here we have some of the prototypes and then basically the final prototype before I go into production here. And what I want to do, obviously, first of all, have my logo on these guys here, but I've decided to go away from branding these RoXolid, and these are all part of my NEStoration line. Just for me, RoXolid, that's the YouTube stuff. NEStoration, that's going to be the 3D printed parts and accessories to repair, restore, enhance your system. So went away from these guys, and one of the things I wanted to do early on was I wanted it to be a two-in-one design. So as you can see here, it has a spot to clean the system and then this to clean the cartridges. And I had taken a look at some of the other solutions that are out there and looked at doing a very fine grit sandpaper material on the top here that would be an adhesive. The issue that I found with that that is really bad as far as the overall design is it's a temporary adhesive on a lot of that. So over time it's going to come off, it's going to delaminate, it's going to cause issues. So immediately my mind went back to the world of radio control cars because we used a fiberglass pen, and I'll show that to you right on screen right now. This is what we used to clean electric motors back in the day, and basically the fiberglass pen would remove carbon deposits and other junk from the motor brush. That's actually part that goes in and provides the current from your battery pack to the motor itself. So then I went to this design here, which is basically a multi-material design. This is a standard 3D printer material here, but this darker that you see, this is actually a fiber reinforced plastic. So it actually has little bits of fibrous material in the plastic itself. It's super abrasive on the nozzles, and my thought process is if it's abrasive on the nozzles, then it should be abrasive enough to be able to clean the pins on the system and on the games and get any carbon or other gunk out. Now, like I say, this is an early prototype. You can see that it didn't quite adhere properly here on the layer lines, but I put this in the system, tested out, and I knew that I was heading down the right path. I tried another combination of materials here, and as you can see, they did not work well. So then I finally found a combination of materials, and while this one doesn't have a two-tone color here on the NEStoration logo, the production versions will. So able to get that material there, and there you have the abrasive material there, and you can actually hear that it's abrasive, and part of that is the material, part of it is the print pattern. Overall, something I am super excited about. So how does it work? I mean, how do you actually clean your system with it? So I have my original Nintendo Switch here, and all that you do, make sure that you don't have a cartridge in here. Take this and insert it, and I can never remember, so I'm going to have to look which way does the label go. I think it's going to go this way. Yeah, so the cleaning material goes towards the back. Insert, remove a couple times. That's it. That is literally all that it is. And we've removed any sort of buildup on my system just with that. That's how simple it is. Now to clean the games, it's also just as simple. I mean, like I mentioned, the main thing that I wanted something that was no solvents, no chemicals, nothing along those lines. It was all self-contained. All that you do is you align the cartridge with the slots here You just go like that, run it back and forth. There is a little bit of resistance. And in future iterations, I may open this up a little bit. That's it. That's all that you have to do to clean your Nintendo Switch cartridges. Go in, it aligns, run it back and forth, boom. Done, clean, gunk cleaned off of it. And the beautiful thing is, so that's my original Nintendo Switch. My Switch OLED, same thing. Pop it in, insert and remove it a couple of times, boom, gunk cleaned off of the system, and your system is none the wiser. It just, I'm going to sound like I'm tuning my horn here, but I'm not meaning to. It is designed to be brilliantly simple. It's really a 2-in-1 Switch cartridge that also has a cartridge on the back end to clean the pins or the inside of a Nintendo Switch so that it cleans the cartridge pins. So, I mean, I'm very proud of this. I have been working on this for a while. I've wanted to fine-tune it with both the materials here, the print process, to make sure that it delivers an overall great result. Now, what about the 3DS? Let's take a look at that. So the beautiful thing about the 3DS cleaner is pretty much once I had, you know, the Nintendo Switch version done as far as that material, the cleaning material and whatnot, and the printing process, all that I had to do was adapt this to this size cartridge. And the same type of thing where, you know, to clean the cartridge, you know, we've got both a DS and a 3DS cartridge. I wanted to make this universal so it works with both. Same type of thing. Line it up, run it back and forth, cleans your cartridges. Same thing on the DS. Line it up, you'll feel it kind of align in the slots. Boom, cleans your cartridge. On the system, now I did want it to be compatible with both standard DS, DS Lite, DSi, so on and so forth, and 3DS systems. So, and I actually found out that that one there is actually the good one. So all that you do, same thing as with the cartridge. Push it in, pop it out several times. Now this doesn't have the different material on there yet. It will in the prototype that I'm going to show you here in just a moment. But that's basically how that works. Same thing on the 3DS. It does not lock itself. It's not a region or lock, it's like a system lock, because like you can't play Game Boy games on this, but you can play GBA games on here. Same type of things to make sure that, you know, you can't use a 3DS game in a DS, but you can use a DS in a 3DS. So I took that design, you know, kind of worked on that and made sure that it worked there, and literally that's all it is. And because of the fact that it is a 3D printed material, it's going to be a lot gentler than a lot of other type of materials that you could use. It has some deflection characteristics, I would say, so that instead of like jamming on the pins, you know, you're going to get a little bit of give here because of the type of material. So it's going to be safe to use on your system long term. It's not going to provide excessive wear and tear on the pins, and it's just going to help you keep your systems clean, keep them maintained, and help you be able to play and maintain your games and systems. Pretty neat, huh? I mean, it's one of those things that I am super excited to bring this to you and to bring it to the market. There have been other cleaners out there for years for your games and for your systems, but nothing that I've really seen for the Switch, nothing that does it in a 2-in-1 sort of configuration. So you really only need one of these and it'll clean both the system and your games. And the beautiful thing about, you know, both of these setups is the materials themselves are the cleaners. You know, you don't have to have any harsh solvents, any rubbing alcohol or IPA or anything along those lines. It dries out your hands. It just got a bad odor. This is all self-contained. This does all the cleaning for you. And it's one of those that at time of launch, my goal is to keep them really cost effective for you too. How's $7.99 for one of these sound $12.99 for two? Pretty cool. These will be available on my website, which I will have linked down below. And again, this is called the Switcheroo for the Nintendo Switch. I am talking to a couple online retailers to have them available through there too. And like I say, no solvents, no cleaning agents, everything is this right here. This does it all for you. Now, this is one of the beautiful things about 3D printing, is the fact that I can come up with an idea, design the idea, and get the idea out to you folks here too. Now, one of the other things is these will be available in the, the 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th of August 2024. We will be at the Utah Retro Game Expo, and it'll be the first show that you'll be able to get your hands on these, so pretty excited for that as well. Now, if you do want to see some of the other videos where we've talked about, the Nintendo Switch, Switch Lite, and accessories, I'll have those playlists linked for you right up there. Go ahead and check it out. I'm sure you're going to find something you really love.